Okay. Hi, good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sige na.
Can you hear my voice?
Sige na.
Okay. So this is our first session for urban agriculture online workshop orientation. So for this session, okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Dewi Suryani. I am from SEAMEO BIOTROP. So with me, we have Dr. Aslan, from Manager of Research and Development SEAMEO BIOTROP, and also we have Miss Riana and Mr. Rashid. So for today, we will give you some orientation about the workshop and also about our participant for urban agriculture training and training process and schedule, assignment and rewards and certificates. So first of all, I will explain about the rules of this online training. So our participants on these trainings come from countries in Southeast Asia and also beyond Southeast Asia. But for the for this batch, we only have participants from Indonesia and the Philippines. English will be used as our communication language during the trainings, and for our communications, we can use email, and we can discuss about any issues related to the workshop only. So please avoid to share files or pictures or stickers or videos unrelated to the workshop activities. So maybe beside we use the emails, maybe later we can use also WhatsApp group or Telegram, and we can decide it. Maybe we can decide it later, right? So this is the username format to join WebEx. School name, first name, or school name. So this is the example. You can type your school name and also your first name and second name, right? And then if students cannot join the WebEx meeting on schedule, they can view previous lecture from the video recording in the C Creative Camp website. So you can see the link for the website, but we still encourage everyone to attend the live session. So next. Next. Okay. So I can explain a little bit about the background. So urban agriculture, as we know, that this is the farming activities that are implemented in the urban environment, which usually have a limited area. So we can implement this in school area or even in house or anything. So this is a solution for farming in the limited area and can be achieved through intensive, efficient, and innovative ways of farming. So various technologies and solutions have been developed to address such issues. So for this urban agriculture, we can use a hydroponic, aquaponic, verticulture, or even conventional ways to plant. That can be done in a limited area condition, such as raised bed, pot gardening, using rooftop, etc. The objective of these trainings is to enhance the awareness and understanding of target participants about the basic concepts of urban agriculture. So this training is also to provide participants with working knowledge on several urban agriculture technologies that they could appropriately implement according to their existing local condition and environment. So from this training also we can share practices and develop innovative projects among the participants. So for our training, so there will be 42 teams. The total participants will be 182 participants from Indonesia and the Philippines also. So next. During the training, we will also have like a sharing session. So maybe after the main session, after lecture, we can let you to share our what we can invite participants to share your best practices on implementing urban agriculture, maybe in your school, and then if you have anything to ask or to deliver, so you can also contact us in cbd@biotrop.org. Next. So this one is the process of this online training. So the training system will be until 30 April. The details of assigning will be delivered to you on 30 April, and the submission of the assignment deadline will be on 10 May. So we will choose the finalists to present their activities or present their presentations on 21 May, and maybe in 27 May we will announce the winners. This is the schedule of our online workshop.
Alhamdulillah. Ini pakai paketan.
This is hello. As you can see, today will be orientation and the introduction to the concept and principles of urban agriculture. So maybe on Thursday, 9 April, we will have a second session with Professor Arif Mariana, and this training will be so you can see the topics for all sessions here.
Tak jelas sih dengan dia.
We started on 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. Next. Okay, this is the assignment. So after the lecture, the participants are expected to develop their own proposal on implementing a urban agriculture project or improvement on their current urban agricultural technologies or practices that promotes agri-based entrepreneurship in their respective schools. So the project proposals shall be judged according to the criteria like the creativity, innovations, efficiency, feasibility, sustainability, impacts to the students, and entrepreneurship. Okay, like I said before, in 30 April, session 8, we will give you details of assignment. We will give you template, and your team will be given about 1 week to develop your action plan. And after that, you must submit the action plan by 10 May, and then the shortlisted teams will be invited to have the online presentation. Next, these are the prize for first winner, second, and third winner. So I think all the winners will be invited to the SEAMEO Council Conference, which will be held on August 2019, maybe in Yogyakarta. This will be a conference. We will give you certificates, three kinds of certificates, like certificates of recognitions. Of course, this is for our first, second, and third winners, and certificate of completion for all participants who have submitted the final assignment, and certificate of appreciation for all instructors and invited speakers. So this is all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. And maybe this one will be continued with Dr. Aslan, or if you have anything to ask me, please. Any questions from you? Is there any questions?
Yeah, isa na ko. Isa na ko okay. Yeah.
If you have any difficulties, so you can type in your question in the chat box. You can type in your questions in the chat box. In the chat box ya.
Hindi kalau bahasa Inggris.
Ya, saya kini ngisor.
Chat boxnya.
Mas dulunya berapa?
Masih bahasa Inggris. Aku lupa. Jadi kalau suara dia bisa.
Itu klik atas muncul. No.
Yang atas.
Nah, gitu. Chat. Terus up. Chat.
Oke.
Ketika itu.
Terus aja.
Angin apa dia baca? Kira ketika anda ya.
Hah? Ini yang punya ini, SEAMEO, yang punya room chatnya. Webex.
Dia on.
Iya, memang dia.
Orang ada.
Iya, cuma ngontrol dong kayak Mas Haris. Adminnya.
Di mana?
Di simbolik lah.
So answer.
Iya, betul. If you have any questions, please use the chat box.
To deliver. Sudah aja.
No, udah.
Oke.
Udah.
Exit. Ini. Dulu ya.
Ada yang mau ditanyakan Bapak Ibu? Mbak, Mas. Gak ada kali ya?
Okay.
If you don't have any question, then we can continue with Dr. Aslan's introduction about the urban agriculture. So please, Dr. Aslan.
Yeah. Keep up. Up. Okay, good afternoon everybody. My name is Aslan. My full name Aslan, my first name Aslan, my last name Aslan. So make sure your name has first and last name. Just to let you know, this was for the ice break, okay? I live in USA for 11 years, so you should have first and last name. If you don't have it, you create a problem with you when you, let's say, you graduate, you finish your high school, then you want to pursue your undergrad and then graduate studies overseas, especially in US. So make sure you have first and last name. If not, make it now. Okay, for the introduction. So perhaps you can unmute your phone, the microphone, and then you can hear any. I want to do like this participative, okay, not just one direction, just from me only. I know you are like millennial generation. You have more knowledge, what current situation about the urban agricultures. So yes, let me start. So before, yeah, next slide. So So this is the first slide. It's about overview about the BIOTROP. What is BIOTROP? BIOTROP is a SEAMEO BIOTROP, Southeast Asian Regional Center for Tropical Biology. This institution already maybe about 50 years now. It's 51 years this year. Exists in Indonesia, established in Indonesia. So started from this year. So BIOTROP also has because it's under Ministry of the Education, so we have obligatory to connect with the schools or the high school students to provide some education. So like for today is about the urban agriculture. What's urban agriculture? So next slide, please. So this first section, as Budewi said, is about introduction to urban agriculture. But before we start, I just want to let you know that, we're living in country. So when I want to give some background, why is agriculture is important? This is the point, right? It's not just you, okay, do agriculture, do fisheries, do things, but why? Why you have to do? This is the typical question raised by millennials. Why you have to do this? It's not just what. Why? Why I should do this? Why I need to do agriculture? So when I live in US, I have see many people come around the world. So one of my friends come from Algeria, if you know that one. Okay. So my friend from Algeria, he raised me one question at the time. Next one. Good, kan? Yeah. So he asked me one question, and he asked simple question. Aslan, yes, you are from Indonesia. Yes. So, are your country produce food? And I say, yes. What kind of food? Many. Corn, maize, maize, corn, right? Paddy, rice, and so on and so on. And you know what he answered? Your country is rich. Your country is rich because you can produce food. So then, and I say, why? What happened with Algeria? I think Algeria is rich with oil. Yes, but 80% of our national income, is used to import food. See, can you imagine? If you have 100%, $100 million US dollar, your country income, and you use 80 millions only to import food, and then you only the rest 20 million for your people. That's why we are so lucky we live in Indonesia or in Southeast Asia in this case, because we receive all the sun. Where you can find sun all the time is only in tropics, right? So we are thankful to God that we live in this country. So we have to utilize this very well and sustain manage. So going now, and the second reason I will tell you that why is food important. If you read through history, all the battles, why they lost. Napoleon Bonaparte, for instance, going back, I don't know what is the time. Napoleon Bonaparte, it was so strong army, but he lost. He was defeated because of what? He didn't prepare with the food. So he lost because of the food. There is not enough supply because it was cold and no supply for the army. So he lost the battles. And similar, that's why after that, during the World War II or World War I, I forgot. I think World War II, Nazi under Hitler, he started to in every single house born in Germany at the time have to plant. This is agriculture, right? Have their own food. In US too, if you look to history, they have also provided food. So food is important. So country is stronger if they can supply their food. Second one, energy. So the main goal of this, we learned this about food sovereignty or food security, and the other hand is energy security. But energy one we will discuss later on. Okay, what's urban agriculture? Or according to Wikipedia, urban agriculture has other name, like urban farming or urban gardening is the practice of cultivating, processing, and distributing food in or around a village, town, or city. Look, what's the opposite of the urban? Rural, right? Rural area. So it's urban, it's city, town. So with limited space, how people in living on that town, they can produce food. So that's the main point. So as Budewi said, you can use anything. You have small garden, you can do gardening, whatever you have enough. And also it's fun, make your, the temperature is gone. If you have, imagine if you have like all the city provide, have the garden, they can absorb carbon. What is it?
What is it?
Click up. Click up. Click up. Yeah, I see. Okay, back to the screen. Back to the screen, please. Nggak dari sama saya itu dia ngetik, nggak bisa, harus ngadal dia. Stop anotating, nggak boleh, dia pakai nulis. Stop anotating. Back to screen-nya. Yeah. So I'm sorry. So the main definition I will read you. And in environmental side, according to the Council for Agricultural Science and Technology, they define urban agriculture to include aspects of environmental health, remediation, and recreation. They say that urban agriculture is a complex system encompassing a spectrum of interest, from a traditional core of activities associated with the production, processing, marketing, distribution, and consumption, to a multiplicity of other benefits and services that are less widely acknowledged and documented. So on. So here, later on, you know that this urban agriculture is keep gain increasing interest in the Southeast Asia, in the world, for food security and safety in cities, and reducing CO2, carbon dioxide emission from distribution of food from villages to cities. For students that you are, please mute your microphone, okay? Because I'm talking now. So there will be session for discussion. Please mute yourself, okay? Because everybody listen your voice. Thank you. Okay. Next slide. Okay. This is slide about the concept of urban agriculture. What this factor is considering as the concept of factor of the urban agriculture? First one is far from production field. Mean like, you know, a rural area where you can lose million hectare of rice field or something like that. Limited land and space, light and water. So this is the characterization of the urban agriculture. Third one, people are busy and not enough time for gardenings. And then the next one is unemployment. So some people, they don't have job because, you know, too many competition in the city, right? So they make, through the urban agriculture, they can create the jobs. And then the next one is biodiversity is low, of course, because the city, you can see, wall, building. So the biodiversity is low. And the last one is high production of waste, organic materials, because city typically full is very dense with people, so many waste, especially the organic materials. Next slide, please. The first factor is far from production field. So carbon emission from food distributions, for instance, transporting vegetables and other raw materials from the field to the city and from market to household. So this is the one way of the effectiveness of the urban agriculture. Freshness of the vegetables. Could not control farming practices, overuse of pesticide, fertilizer to maximize production. Unhealthy food. Urban agriculture brought healthy and fresh fruits and vegetables right to the kitchen, less or no emission. as we can see now, many now, right, urban agriculture, they don't use pesticide. It's organic, everything is organic thing. Next, please. The other factor is limited land and space, light and water. Housing in the cities are commonly very dense, as I mentioned before, with limited land and space, walls, fences, roofs. Light is often blocked by buildings and trees. Of course, water is also limited and usually bought from a water company, belong to the state or privates. Knowledge, technology, and creativity are needed to deal with the limitation. So, you can make note in your own, okay? Please do not disturb this screen. Because when you click, like said Muhammad, you want to do annotation, you can do, you use your own paper, okay, book, please. Muhammad Miftahul Arifin. I decline here because, you know, we share the screen here. So you can make your own annotation in your computer. Don't using this screen, okay? Or you can use your paper with pen, okay? Okay, and then last one is using clean, safe, or wastewater. Next, please. This one example of the what BIOTROP has done with the, like, doing right now with the hydroponic system. This is you can call this one example of urban agriculture. Pak Erdika, our director, is supposed to be presenting today. He's on the right side with the beard, and then Pak Jess on the left side. He's from Philippines. He's our previous deputy director of program. So he also will give presentation material for this urban agriculture and the last one when do writing things. Okay, next please. Okay, this is another example of the hydroponic system. As you see, there is a pipe there and water there. You can do this thing, hydroponic thing, right? It's actually BIOTROP. We can train you if you don't know how to do it. You can ask question how to set up yours, and we can share how to do it. You see, this is lettuce, it's fresh, no pesticide. Okay, next. This other way is catfish production in plastic ponds. This is what we did in BIOTROP too. We raise catfish, we harvest them, and we sell to people too if they want. So there is other way, they call it aquaponics. So aquaponics is a fish and then the veggies on the top. Next. We have this one in BIOTROP, mushroom production. So see, we have limited space in BIOTROP, but we can produce this. This one is this can sustain. See, you see on the screen. You see like your college from different school. They are high school students. They are internship in BIOTROP. So they are learn how to raise the mushroom here, jamur. Next. So, as you know, people are busy and not enough time for gardening. So, infrastructure, especially electricity in the city, are commonly good, possible to make automation. So, selecting the right system of growing and right vegetable plant species. So, the previous slide, you see the hydroponics, right? This was still manual, but currently, they can use automatic system because we have like compared to rural area where it's difficult to get electricity. In urban, typically you have like 24/7, 360-degree electricity. So you can use electricity to power. So you can set up sensor so you know when to spray with the water or to spray with the whatever the nutrient needed for the plant. Let's say nitrogen or phosphor, because that one is needed for the plant. Next. Unemployment, I mentioned before. Job in the city usually formal one, need certain degree of education, and so it's competition, right? So with urban agriculture, could create a job, income generation, selling products, selling the equipment, consultation work. People are working not far from their house, apartment, less hospitality. So I encourage you from now on, do not delay. If you have space at home, going back home from now, Mom, Dad, I want to make my own hydroponics. I want to make my own garden. Whatever you have, depend whatever kind of, and depend what kind, what kind of plant you want to raise. Let's say cabe, chili, or if you like spicy like me, I like to raise chili, something like that. If you like tomato, then you can raise tomato, so you don't have to buy. But this one is organic, so you can start practice. So you try to develop your entrepreneur skill. As Budaya mentioned before, one factor and considered here is entrepreneur. So be judged. Next, and its biodiversity is low. Urban agriculture could increase biodiversity of the city through planting vegetable crops. You know, animals need vegetables, right? Food, flower, like bee. Bee need the flower to make the honey. So if there is no plant, there is no trees, there is no anything, so there is no animal camp. But once you raise the vegetable or plant, then animals start to coming. Next, please. High production of waste, organic materials. So organic waste has always become a problem in the cities since there is not Please, if you want to make Ahmad Jainuri, if you want to make note, please annotate note, catatan. Please use your book. Pakai buku sendiri aja ya. You start the presentation, the slide here. When you ask for the annotation, please use your own book, make notation, and pencil or pen. So waste normally create bad smells and invite nasty animals and insects that may cause diseases to the community. In urban agriculture, organic waste will be processed into compost and used for Ahmad. Please. Ahmad Januari dari mana ya? So stop asking for annotation. You can write down. So because you disturb the presentation here. Sorry. Next, please. Okay, this is the area where the high products of waste. So it's produce the waste and then it can bad smells. This one way to how to manage that one. You can create composting. This is point of composting. See, this is in BIOTROP. All the litter of the trees fall. The the leaf and everything. We try to make it compost. So this is you can practice at home. So you can start from now too. I mean composting. I believe. I mean rather than you burn it, better to do composting. Okay, next. So this is the principle of the typically people use it. 3R: reduce, reuse, recycle, safe and healthy system, biodiversity and changing some trees species with fruit tree species. Next. First one, reduce. To reduce the quantity of waste that should be disposed by composting the organic waste. So when you have waste at home, you know there is organic and inorganic, right? So the organic waste, like from plant, buah-buahan, vegetables, you can make it compost from that. But the inorganic one, like plastic bottle, you can reuse it. You can sell it to collector and then they can sell it. Next, please. Reuse. Reuse pots, poly bags to grow vegetables. Choose relatively thick poly bags to be able to reuse. Reuse plastic pipes to construct hydroponic system. You have bottle, aqua bottle. You can use them for the place to raise the vegetables, to grow vegetables. If you have plastic bag you buy from the store, bring it home. You can make it media for the place to grow your plant, whatever you like to do. Next. So recycle. Some species of vegetables are used only some part of them unless the leftover could be replanted. Need to buy seeds, chili, eggplant. This is for example. Organic waste for compost. Newspaper, tissue papers could be recycled and processed into pots that could be used to grow vegetables. Use bottles. Bottle I mentioned before. Use bottle can be used for the hydroponic and horticulture. Safe and healthy system. Hydroponics could potentially invite mosquitoes, right? Yes, because it's humid. It can attract mosquito to come, nyamuk, to lay eggs in the system and become the breeding place for the mosquito. Clean in this case, cleanliness and regular observation needed. So if you have your hydroponics, you have yours, you have to must visit all often, like frequently to see if you see mosquito there or if you see any insect there, they're affiliate to your hydroponic system. If that had only regular insect, maybe that's fine, ants or something else. But if that mosquito, then you have to be aware because that maybe can dengue fever or maybe malaria. Just be careful. Next, please. Biodiversity and changing some shade tree species with fruit tree species. Replacing some ornamental plants with various kind of BIOTROPs. Of course, sometimes people they use the bio from the store and then they put it, but isn't better, right? If you have the real one rather than the fake one plant to put in your house or around your house as for the beautiful thing, for art, not for something that fake. Replacing some shading trees with some fruit tree species. Yeah, I mean rather than have like say palm trees, maybe better you put mango trees. You can harvest mango, but palm trees you can just look it beautiful, but nothing you can get from it unless you like people from Maluku, Eastern. You eat the palm trees, the what the name, pinang, pinang. Pinang make your tree, what do you call it? Your teeth like look like bleeding, but that's clean one. But not everybody. I came from East Asbudewi too, but we are not using that one. So mango is better. Next, please. Okay, in conclusion, urban agriculture could help city people to get fresh and healthy food with low carbon emission. Remember, carbon emission. This is one of the goals of SDGs. You guys, I encourage you a lot to open Google it, type sustainable development goals. There are 2030. It's by UN, United Nations, by PBB. You can read that one and what is requirement. Second, urban agriculture to promote healthy life awareness. Urban agriculture needs creativity to utilize limited land, space, light, and water. So those three things that you have to put in your mind when you plan about your urban agriculture, whatever you call it. So I mean, let's see, urban agriculture not only limited to plant, okay? If you can have small space to raise your chicken, this can consider as urban agriculture too, but in different term. Urban farming, something like that. And some people, they when I live in US, some in rural around people they have their own cattle, they have their own cow, they have their own goat, but same time they have also cornfield, the same location. So you can have both in the same time too. So next, please. I think that's all from me. If you have question, you can unmute now. We can talk, or you have some. Put your notes if you want, and I can read it here. There is a note here. You can type your questions, or let's say, I need to learn how to do hydroponics. Then you can type it there. So whatever. Thank you.
Boleh.
Artin.
urban agriculture hanya tentang pembudidayaan tanaman saja. Saya bilang tadi, sampai bahasa Indonesia ya, I hope you guys understand. Jadi, konsep urban agriculture itu, jangan terjemahkan agriculture itu sebagai tanaman. Bisa juga saya bilang tadi terakhir tadi di penutupan tadi kesimpulan bahwa dia juga termasuk kita punya tanaman hewan. Misalkan kamu punya ayam, punya kambing atau apapun, yang penting bisa bagaimana memanfaatkan ruang yang sempit tapi bisa produksi makanan sendiri. Itu intinya di situ. Okay, this question come from Muhammad El Sadiq Asbir to house. Hello sir, I have a question. In one of the slides, you mentioned one of the effect is less pesticide. Why does urban agriculture use less pesticide compared to rural agriculture? Because, thank you Muhammad for your question. This is good one. Why does urban agriculture use less pesticide compared to rural agriculture? You know what? I will tell you what's inside the pesticide. If you want, inside pesticide is one way to combat insect, right?
Yes.
To combat insect. So people they use chemical thing. Budewi can explain more than me because he's part of his expert. So it's to combat the insects. So because you raise your plant in limited space, you control them full.
Yeah.
See, you every day single day, you see them every single day. So you can sure that hey, there is no insect here. So why you need pesticide? You don't need it. That's why less. Perhaps you need it if you have more area because you cannot control the nature. So in some instance you may need it. Okay. So that's why less pesticide. If you have like this room as present here, maybe you don't need because you can just patrol and check it every single plant you grow and you can clean it by yourself. But I want to let you know the most important thing that when you do plant with raise the plant and you plant the trees or something veggies, the composition of what the veggies needed, the what do you call it? Pupuk. The fertilizer. The important is fertilizer. Okay, you have to pick up the good fertilizer one. In this case, that's why in the slide you can see the composting, right? Because composting is one way to provide organic fertilizer rather than using like urea that come from the chemical chemical thing. So this is thank you for your questions. Anything else?
Oh, how is the way to participate?
Any other questions?
Presentation. Any questions? Any more questions?
Muhammad, is that Muhammad El Sadiq Asbir? You clear or you have any question more? This is good question. I think this is like critical thinking, right? You ask why less and pesticides. So I hope my answer can fulfill what you read. Okay.
Please explain the steps to participate.
Oh, how is Dian Tantri asking? How is the way to participate SEAMEO? My students must present and record it and send to your address. Please step by step waiting to participate. Participate in what? In this program or Dewi?
Participate in what? For this, there will be online sessions, online training session for this urban agriculture team. So in the last session, we'll give you assignment like to do your own project. So you will participate on the assignment. Are you clear?
Maybe you can open back the slide, Dewi. The slide before, so that you can see clearly. Wait a moment, okay? So, lah. Nah, itu dulu. Enggak, yang itu partisipan dulu. Ini sekarang dia masuk di peserta itu enggak? Dia ada di situ enggak? Si Dian itu di situ enggak?
Di bawah aja, di bawah. Nah, itu. Nah, so as you can see from our slide.
Please open the slide.
Yes. So we will have a series of online training sessions with different kind of topics. So after the sessions, on the last sessions, we will give you assignment to do your own project. So you will do your own projects with your team, and then we will choose several teams that will present their project online, right?
So today this is only the opening session, the introduction.
Yes.
So there will be one in 9 April, in April 4th, I think 14, 16 April, 11 April, until the last one is the April 30th. 30, okay? So you must to follow, because all the question may raise come from all these different sections. Okay, question from Wafi Sidiku House, present. Okay, how to analyze and measure urban growth over time in residential area? Over time, okay. This is about monitoring, right? So, how to analyze and measure urban growth over time? Urban growth, what do you mean urban growth? Urban is community, is a city. Maybe you want the what? This is the what you mean? Maybe the plan. You monitoring your plan. You monitoring your what's your plan? How it's grow, right? If you say measure urban, mean measure the community, the city. It's not our topic today. It's not.
It's about agriculture.
Agriculture in how to raise agriculture in urban areas. So agriculture you can do like raise the plant or animal, whatever you like. You know, as I give you example before, we have like hydroponic system, as well as we also have the aquaponic system too. Okay, so how to monitor the thing? You can set up your time frequently in your free time. You say you are a student, you go to school 7 o'clock, you come home at let's say 2 o'clock. Then you can start before you go to school. You check your plan, or it's make sure. Oh, maybe today is rain. What you need? If not rain, okay, what you want to do? Maybe you pour water, and when you're going back home, you see maybe need some more water or some fertilizer. Then you do it. So use your free time to monitor. Okay, and then the next one.
So I think for these questions, we will give you information about these urban agriculture's ways during the online training. So maybe you have to follow all the training so you can know how to measure or how to plan your how to plan your crops in urban area.
Yeah, crops.
Yeah.
Okay, crops. Okay, from Ahmad January, he asking that to do urban agriculture, do we need the high technology or tools or modern technology? No, you don't need it. Okay, you don't need it. You can decide. You can make it. I mean, the idea of urban agriculture, you have limited space. This will answer also the question from the Muhammad El Sadiq Asabir. You also mentioned limited space is needed for urban agriculture. Practically, how much space is minimum to do we need? Can we do urban agriculture in a small balcony like terrace room? Or yes, of course. You can even do in rooftop. So whatever space you think, you do. I mean, urban agriculture, you have to know the concept. Urban, the opposite of rural. Rural, you live in pedesaan, okay? Where you still have land space, you have land area. You can plant, let's say, kebun or sawah or whatever, rice field with hectare. But you live in urban, where more people living in high dense, Jakarta or Bogor is very dense with building. So you only have limited space. But the idea with this limited space, what you can grow, that's why it depends on you, what your passion is. let's say you passionate, you like spices, then you will plant this chilies. If you like tomato, then you plant tomato. Something like that. If you like other thing like flower, then maybe you take flower for something or something like that. Okay. So this is don't limit. You have to know the concept about the urban. Urban is the area where there's no more space. So use your limited space and plant something. Okay. Teras rumah is good place to do. If you mom allow it to do, of course. Right? Or taman, yes, taman space, limited time, you can use taman too, otherwise, okay? About the tools, alat and technology, it's very simple. You don't have to have advanced. If you have, whatever you have, the idea, use your small space, limited space, plant something or buy something. That's it. Tools, thinking. If you have money, you can use. If you can have a proposal to, I'll give you an example. We are BIOTROP. We have program every year. You can send your proposal. We can fund it you up to 10 millions. But the proposal is through peer review, okay? Because not only you, maybe some from other country. Like today, like this year, we funded about four proposal come from the school. They have aquaponic system. They have the hydroponic system. They want to for the school. So we funded with 10 million. You can buy tools, right? Buy to set up the garden at school, but not for home. This for school. So you can learn from the school first. You can create your experiment, then you can apply it at home once it succeed. Okay? Oh, sorry, share from Fatma. Produk terakhir nanti dalam bentuk apa saja? Apakah dalam bentuk laporan, produk, dan video? Yes, of course. This is, as you see on the schedule, the last section is about how to do reporting. So, please open it. See, on the 3rd April, 30th in this slide, documentation and reporting of best practice in urban agriculture by Dr. Jess Fernandez. So, this Dr. Jess Fernandez is our previous deputy director of program. He will taught you about how to write a good documentation about your projects. See, so right. So the format is in a report. If you have the products, take the picture, take the video. That's why a good thing is you monitor. You take short video when you start. Okay, we need this thing. Record it from beginning until the end. And make a video is better because you can show this can be like module or lesson learning to others, right? So you can win. Okay, you can be the first winner, something like that. Okay, I hope you answer your question, Fonatika Fatma, yeah. Okay, next please. We still have time. Can you type okay. Sorry, sir. Yeah, we can provide you this. You can get. Yes. Can you share?
Yes.
Yeah, we can give you this one is in PDF format. You can share in PDF format. Only in PDF file. Okay. Well, from Fabio. Okay, so let's say we are able to do urban agriculture, but then the problem comes when we are trying to make profit out of it. Some of us live in the very limited space. So how can we make profit with such a small bounty? Okay. Thank you. The question. Or the name? Fabio. The idea. This the first one is to this urban agriculture to fulfill your need about food. Okay. Urban agriculture to fulfill your need. I don't know. Maybe you join us from beginning. I told you that Napoleon Bonaparte lost the wars, defeated because they don't have enough sufficient food to supply when they do battles. So the same way, if we apply that to our condition right now, so we create urban agriculture, it depends on your intention. What's your intention? If you want to make it profits, then you can create, because let's say you have only limited space in your house, then you can create a community with your neighbor and then try to to tell them, hey, let's say in our area people needed lettuce or people needed spices, rather and to go to the market is too far away. Why we don't produce ourselves? And like in 3 months you can produce, right? You can yield it and you can sell it to them with the low price, and you can say, hey, this organic thing, this not contain pesticides. So that's the idea. But the first thing to know, the idea of urban agriculture is how to make it your self-sufficiently. You support yourself. Then after that you think it's enough, then you can start to sell it. But when you can start to sell, then you start thinking, is this your efforts is worth it to sell? Maybe you say, you are busy, go to school, but if you find, this thing about the patient. If you have patient, you don't care about benefit. You don't care about the profit, right? So it's about patient. If you're patient doing that, then you're happy. Even I myself, I like to go to engage with my neighbor. I just give them for free. Hey, I just harvest. Take it. Come here. So by then you can have like a good connection with your neighbor. Okay, I think Fabio. So it's not about it's profit. If you want to make it profit, you have to consider the scale first. You can see your neighbor first. Okay, next question comes from SMKN. Okay, the high school from Jember. Apakah faktor yang paling menonjol apabila tumbuhan di hidroponik itu sulit berkembang secara maksimal seperti pada umumnya? So what's the main factor that in hydroponics so it cannot raise maximize? So it depends what kind of plant you have. Maybe the waters, maybe the fertilize. So you have to study first. What kind of plant you want to raise first? You study, you open the book. Okay, I want to raise kangkung. I want to raise other thing. And this kangkung or whatever lettuce. What's the like? We are human. We not human. We need like certain amount of, let's say, iron, certain daily, certain amount of carb, certain amount of protein. Similar to plant too. You should study them. Then by then you will know. You measure. Okay, this is, and I mean basically and this one can go through the experience. Not one time. You have to trial and error. Try until you are expert on it. One. Okay. And next question from Muhammad Fadil. Why urban agriculture is less responsive to the modernization of land uses in most cities? How do you know? I think what your question is. I myself. What you mean by less responsive to the modernization? I think urban agriculture is how people in cities, they are aware how to make their cities not just with build, just with the wall. They want to make it green. For instance, if you go to Jakarta, there is I forgot the name, the institutions. They have like all the buildings full with the plants, rooftop and everywhere. In New York, I live in New York for several years. I know in the building they plant the trees and they raise the crop over there too, just to absorb the carbon, to less carbon. So that's why I told you guys before that please read this, Google it, Sustainable Development Goals, and that's especially talking about the low carbon development. Carbon, we talk about carbon because if a lot of carbon in our air, it can create heat. And that's why the climate change, the temperature increase. So that's why the ice in the northern, kutub? Pole. The pole and the southern pole, they are melting now because the temperature, the earth increase. So one way to reduce the temperature is we plant the trees. This is the one way to absorb, to sink the carbon, to capture. And we cannot capture carbon. No. Only plant. Through what? Through photosynthesis, through the sun. That's why we are lucky we live in here. In Indonesia or in Philippines, we have a lot of sun, all 24/7, 360 degrees. You receive sun, right? Not like in then how you manage, how to utilize your God resources give to you. So planting trees. As you know, I don't know. I'm a Muslim people. I know this one hadith say, the Prophet says, the lesson learning, he say, if tomorrow is the doomsday, what you gonna do? The Prophet say, plant the trees. See, he don't say, prepare yourself, but say, plant the trees. So how important the trees? Even during the war, I'm not talking about Islamic thought, but during the war, the Prophet say, don't cut the trees. I mean, how important the trees for our earth. See, it's a kind of plan, something like that. Okay, we still have another 15 minutes to time. If you still have any questions, so I mean for the Muhammad Fadil, yeah, I hope my answer is answer your fulfill your answer, okay? Because it's not responsive. We are more responsive, in fact, the urban agriculture. How to respond the hottest Jakarta. Imagine if the city there is no trees at all. What happened? It's very hot. It's very hot. Imagine if Bogor, there is no Kebun Raya Bogor agriculture garden. What happened, Bogor? It will be hot, and no rain. So it's a way to capture, to reduce the temperature of the global temperature, kind of like that. So people nowadays, they say go green, go blue, go blue. See, means they are going to anything about urban agriculture one way of the go green campaign. That's the way I interpret like that. Okay. Anything else?
Any questions?
Any question? You can. So don't worry about the exam. I will not give you questions. so just read. Okay. I mean, look the concept. Okay. Urban agriculture is how to utilize your limited space at your house first. I only have this fences. I only have like a small, let's say, 5 meters by 1 meters. What kind of plant I can grow there? Okay, thinking that first. That's considered as urban agriculture. But of course, if you have land bigger than that one, then you can grow more. Or even you can do vertical too. You know, you can have right. You can make it like second level, third level. You can play that one as we usually with the as in hydroponic, usually with the tube, with the pipe tube. See, you can see the, what they call it, the S shape. So that's why we're planting. And we grow the water. If you want to do hydroponics, the important thing with hydroponics, because you don't use soil a lot, right? It's not soil, right? So it's water. The water is very important. How to control the water if you want to do hydroponic things. You have to read first how to do hydroponics. Then if you need more questions, Mariana, come here close. Close, please. So closer. Ibu Riana here. Camera. Oh yeah. Geser. No. Balikan. Yeah. This is Ibu Riana. She is responsible for hydroponic system in BIOTROP. You can type the email. Type email, Ibu Riana. If you have question about how to do hydroponic at your home or your school, you can ask her directly. Okay? She can guide you. Or let's, for instance, what can emailnya. You can type. So you can send her email, and then she's one of BIOTROP staff who is responsible for managing our hydroponics. So you can email her if you want to do hydroponics, how to start, what kind of plant. So that BIOTROP has already planned so far, then she can share with you guys. Okay. I think.
One more. No.
Any?
One last question.
Okay, last question. Okay. Bagaimana cara meyakinkan masyarakat yang asalnya tidak mau sama sekali tentang? Okay, how to convince people that initially not want to do urban agriculture. So how to convince? You don't need to convince people. Practice, just practice, just do it. Remember when you see the teacher, just do it. Use that one, just do it. Agriculture, urban agriculture, just do it. Do it. If you do it consistently, and then you as you start with your home, your friend, community, then they will see you. You see, if you can create money from that one, you can sell to the small market, pasar-pasar lokal. Kan di kompleks-kompleks kan ada, biasanya pagi-pagi tuh ada ibu jual-jual gitu kan. Jual di situ. You can raise money, they will see you. Oh, this guy, anak ini dia nggak sekolah, dia sekolah doang, dia sibuk, tapi kan dia bisa jualan. Dari mana? Dia nggak punya lahan. But dia punya ini, dia tanam di pinggir-pinggir rumahnya gitu. So, convince people, you don't need to convince people. Just do it and by practice. Okay? This one is more important. Okay. Recommendation for urban agriculture or agriculture technology. This is broad questions. What you mean urban agriculture? Urban agriculture is just one term. It's term, right? It's a term. It's how to use your limited space at home when you live in city to plant or to raise something. I don't know. This question comes from the Wafi Sidik. Wafi, I hope you understand. Mengerti ya bahwa urban agriculture itu adalah konsep. Itu bukan apa teknologi. Itu adalah konsep. So bedakan antara konsep, make a differentiate between concept and then the tools dengan alat gitu. So urban agriculture, some people get urban farming, some people urban whenever So the idea is you have limited space and you want to plant something, growing something to fulfill you need about the food. It can be meat or can be plant, whatever you like. Okay? I think guys, I have another thing to do, and so thank you much.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your attention. I give back to Ibu Dewi for the closing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aslan. So I think all the questions have been answered by Dr. Aslan. So hopefully you can understand, and if you have any questions, then you can deliver it maybe in the next online training. So the next training will be held on 4 April, on Thursday, right? On Thursday at 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. So thank you again for your attention, guys, and see you. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay.